Another season of the NBA on ESPN is underway.
Let's go!
Deep three. Tyler Hero. Oh, he hit it.
We have a liftoff.
Leonard.
The Lakers and Mavs are running it back, and this time they're on ABC primetime. Dallas took game one and AD's first game back in a physical battle as both teams are fighting for positioning in the standings as they sit 5 and 6 in the West, and we're getting you set for it all, counting you down to tip off in Dallas here on Hoop Streams Primetime, live on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and the ESPN app. Hi, everybody. I'm Cassidy Hubbarth from NYC, and we're joined by George Sedano making his return to Hoop Streams. We've missed you, buddy.
What up? I missed you, too. What's up, girl?
And speaking of returns, she had such a great time on her Hoop Streams debut last week. So we roped her back in. You're ours now. Monica McNutt, you're back, and we couldn't be happier about it because, guys, we got a lot to get into, including the hottest team in the league right here in NYC, which, Monica, I know you were watching that game earlier. And I'm not talking about the Nets. I'm talking about the New York Knickerbockers. We'll get into it. We'll also hear from Julius Randle later as he told me what it's like hearing MVP chants in the Garden. But first, I want to hear from, the real MVPs, you two, as we get into our spot up three. This is where I dish out 3 different topics, guys. And you guys are going to get your shots off. That work?
Let's do it.
Let's go. The Lakers got half their dynamic duo back as Anthony Davis, minutes restricted return on Thursday. He's dealing with his calf and Achilles injury. He spoke to Rachel Nichols this week about the Lakers' injury woes.
Anthony Davis going to have his A game.
I don't think 80% does it in this Western Conference.
Unless there's a re-injury, I think the Lakers are going to be trouble.
With the number of games left, there still is a chance you guys could fall into that play-in position. But even if you get into the more traditional playoff part of the bracket, if you're in the lower half, how concerned are you about the road ahead for the postseason and defending your title?
No matter where we fall, we know that we're capable of still winning a championship. Injury played a part this season for us, and we always say it just makes it a lot sweeter at the end, to go through something like this. So put us up against anyone. I don't think no one wants to see us first round. Like I said, I know the type of team that we have, and I know what we can do. I think we're capable of beating anyone in a 7-game series.
Sure, they're capable if they're healthy. Thursday was the first time we saw AD on the court in nearly 9 weeks. 4 points, 2 of 10 of shooting, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Just not exactly his dominant self. But this is what I want to ask you guys. With a month to go in the playoffs, the last update on LeBron was that he's weeks away. You guys aren't doctors, so you can't advise on when he's going to be back. But, George, when do the Lakers need to bring LeBron back before they have to sound the alarm?
I don't know about you, Cass, but I got a PhD in WebMD, okay? I diagnose myself all the time on the internet, okay?
This year,
so
don't we all?
With that. Here's the deal. Your question is, when does LeBron need to come back? I mean, look, I think LeBron will probably be back in this first week of May here. So about a week or two still. And LeBron doesn't need a lot of time, okay? LeBron can shake off the rust in a game or two tops. And it's not like this team is the Nets, who you referenced earlier, who haven't necessarily played together. This team won a championship, or at least the core won a championship together. So they're bringing AD along slowly. He's going to do the 15 minutes for a while. He'll ramp up to 20, 25, 30, et cetera, et cetera. But LeBron, he'll be back. He'll be playing almost starters minutes very soon, I would imagine, after his return.
Yeah, George, I completely agree with you. I was literally like, what day does the season end? May 16th, 18th, somewhere in there, depending on which team. As long as LeBron is ready to go May 19th, whenever the playoffs start, I'm not concerned. I think we've seen enough from him at this point in his career that we can trust him. And you're absolutely right. The biggest piece to me is that this team already has experience together. And Dennis Schroeder has been fantastic this year. He's a very smart point guard. It's going to be like adding water. I still think the Lakers are the favorite.
Cass, let me jump in here real quick. Let me jump in here real quick. So LeBron had a similar injury like this back in Cleveland in 2017. It actually happened before they started the preseason. He missed about a month. He was ready to play in the opener against the Boston Celtics. He went for 29, 16, and 9, okay? So I feel like I'm okay with LeBron no matter what happens here.
No, I know. No, we know he's not human. Like, I'm still, I'm not second-guessing the fact that he's hurt, but this may have been just like, the off-season he needed. That he didn't get. But I was like, is George breaking news with that return date? But I did just get an alert that Woj is reporting that LeBron could be back as early as next week. So you were ahead of that, or you got your alert faster than me, and I need to step up my Wi-Fi. But we're gonna keep it moving here for our next spot up 3. Why can't we be friends? Mark Cuban spoke this week on the friendship between Luka and Kristaps Porzingis and said this: on the court, they're fine. I mean, coach is coach, and coach kind of runs the show, so everything gets worked out on the court. That's not to say there aren't dust-ups, because there are. I also want to say that Cuban went on to say, I mean, KP and Luka get along fine. It's just that they're different people. They like to do different things. So let me ask you this, Monica. Do Luka and KP have to be friends to be a successful duo?
Cass, I think that's a loaded question. Being genuine friends helps, but no, I don't think they have to be friends. They've got to be business partners. As much as we love camaraderie in basketball, at the end of the day, if I can trust you to get me the ball here and I can trust you to finish and I can bank on you in terms of the game itself, I think this is overblown. And quite honestly, I have this whole TED Talk on our relationship with no. If they're not boys, that's fine. But if they're working toward a common goal, then let's go.
So, Cass, we've seen both sides of the spectrum here. We saw Shaq and Kobe not get along and won 3 championships. We saw Dwayne and LeBron in Miami, right, needing that relationship to get through a very difficult time for them when they lost to the Dallas Mavericks. So, look, Cuban also mentioned in that particular interview that Dirk and Jason Terry didn't really like each other for a very long time. So we've seen that. Here's the problem, though, with Porzingis. The best ability is availability, and he's not available enough. He's missed, I think, 18, 19 games thus far this season. And here's the deal. This Dallas starting unit, when they're on the floor together, they're a net rating of plus 12.3. That's better than the Utah Jazz, who are the 1 seed in the West. The big difference, though, is they've only played half the minutes together because Porzingis is never on the floor.
And speaking of, he won't be on the floor tonight. Kristaps and Josh Richardson are out versus the Lakers. And Rick Carlisle said this on Porzingis: we believe that the ankle sprain is not serious, but the decision for him to sit tonight was not a close call. So stay tuned to that. Okay, our third and final topic on Spot Up 3. Hot food takes and cold car rides. Now, we've all seen some pretty weird stuff on over the years, but Jason Tatum and PJ Tucker have been a little extra this week. So let's start with Tatum's take on foods he won't eat. Listen to this.
Mushrooms, mac and cheese, sushi, horseradish, I eat bologna. But the other four.
No mac and cheese? I mean, if he said no cheese, like he has a dairy thing, but just no mac and cheese? All right, we'll get to that in a second. Is it more wild than this? PJ Tucker obviously made the move from Houston to Milwaukee, still getting used to the elongated winters in the Midwest. Take a listen.
Seriously, Milwaukee? For real? Snow? It's almost May. Snow. All right, bet. Donuts in the snow.
Top down. $500,000 car. Top down. Wouldn't be me. George, who is more out of pocket, Jason or PJ?
This is a tough one, Cass. Look, I am a man of warm weather. I grew up in palm trees in Miami. I live in palm trees in LA. There's a reason I didn't stay in the Northeast, okay, when I first got hired at ESPN and made my way out here. However, okay, I'm going to say Jason Tatum for this reason alone. I'm not a mac and cheese person, okay? I became a bougie mac and cheese person later in life. Because Hispanic people, here's a little secret. Hispanic people don't do mac and cheese. My abuela used to say, eso no es comida de verdad. That's not real food, okay? So here's the deal. My biggest issue with him is this. Got to expand the palate, man. Sushi is good for you. Fish is healthy for you. Go get some of that sushi. I ain't worried about the mac and cheese. The sushi is what he's got to get in on.
I'm worried about the mac and cheese. Monica?
I think to be so discriminatory with all of those foods and then eat bologna, like that just is, there's levels to this that didn't quite add up. But like, do you know what's in bologna? Like, but I actually think I'm going to go with PJ Tucker being a little bit more wild for that. Like, first of all, you can hit ice in your $500,000 car, and that could be problematic. Even with your face mask, which was smart. But like, that's a little too much money to play with for me. Clearly, I can't touch that.
A lot. I mean, our producer, Chris, was like, I wonder what's more expensive, PJ's shoe collection or that car. And I quickly told him, that car's $500,000. I don't care what kind of second market you're dealing with. I'm going with the car. Right. So I say PJ's out of pocket for that one. But, you know, that's just me. And buck up. Literally. You're with Milwaukee now. You know, we're getting ready to, you know, get you set for the Mavericks and Lakers. Luka warming up on the court. You know, that game's at 8:30 Eastern on ABC. You can also watch it live on the ESPN app if you log into your cable provider now. And, you know, the Bucks didn't give the Sixers a warm welcome in Milwaukee today, beating them twice this week. And today, 132-94 in this one. Just a beatdown. But there was no Joel, there was no Ben Simmons. Sixers, you know, matched their lowest point total, suffered their most lopsided defeat in the season. Giannis scored 24 and moved into second place in the Bucks' career scoring list. But right now, as it stands, Philadelphia dropped a full game behind the Nets in the Eastern Conference standings. Milwaukee third in the East, 2.5 games behind Brooklyn, and 1.5 games behind Philadelphia. The hottest team in the NBA, the Knicks, going for a 9th straight win, hosting the Raptors. Monica, Randall couldn't miss a thing in the first half.
He literally, I mean, the basket was an ocean, and I literally petitioned my bosses at MSG Network. We got to get a bench cam because Theo Pinson is giving us all the energy and the celebrations on the bench. But honestly, Cass and George, my favorite part of this ball game, I don't know if it's in this highlight, was Obi Toppin knocking down 3 threes. Like, there's just so much energy around this team. And in the postgame, he talked about, again, we're doing things right. We're getting in the gym, and when the opportunities come, we're maxing on them. So it's just so fun to watch this team.
Oh, way to tee up the post game, because I actually talked to him after that 9 straight win. So let's hear what Julius Randle had to say.
Well, 9 straight wins. I know this crowd is happy. You heard the MVP chants. You keep hearing the MVP chants. How good does it feel right now to be in that Knick uniform?
It feels amazing. I'm enjoying every second of it. Excited every time I get to step on the court and wear this jersey. So I just try to make the fans proud, you know, try to be there for my teammates and try to get wins most of all. So it's been fun.
And guys, earlier this week, I also talked to Randall about, you know, a lot going on. Even hearing the MVP chants in the Garden. You can check out the full interview on YouTube coming up later this week. And I also asked him about this LeBron James tweet he made earlier this week, where he said the league is simply better off when the Knicks are winning. And when I read that tweet to Randall, here's what he had to say.
It's 1,000% true. You know, just the excitement around our team. You know, we're not feeding into it as a team, but we definitely feel the energy and the excitement around our team. Just how the city is really embracing us. You see the fans going crazy because I mean they love Knicks basketball. You know, I leave the game after getting my treatment and, you know, stretching and all this stuff after the game, and I'm probably leaving an hour to hour and a half after the game, and they're out there going crazy still. You know, waiting for us to cheer us on. So. It's an amazing feeling. We love it. And you know, we're just trying to do our best to get a city something to be proud of.
So, George, I mean, I know how Monica feels. She's in and around this team. I'm in New York, so I feel the buzz. You're all the way on the West Coast. So, you know, how much are you buying into all of the hype around the New York Knicks right now?
They're a legit team, Cass. I mean, I think that I don't know if they're better than a first-round team in the NBA playoffs, but I think that considering where they've been, which has been the doldrums, let's face it, for the better part of almost a decade now. I remember being at the game where the Knicks and Madison Square Garden launched confetti after not getting swept. They were down 3-0 to LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, and they launched confetti at the Garden like they had won the series. And I'm like, how far have they come where now we're talking about them again in this vein of they're a playoff team and they're a team on the rise. Julius Randle is showing that he has expanded his game. That three-point shot is now legit. I remember watching him here in LA, and people were like, could he ever get that shot going down? And if he can, maybe he can be somebody. Well, here he is. I think he's the most improved player in the NBA. And we also need to remember, hey, Tom Thibodeau knows how to coach, okay? He gets this young team. He puts some guys in place that know his system and know how he wants to do things, like Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson. And this Knicks team is on the right trajectory. If they land the right free agent or free agents, this team can take off and be one of these top 4 teams consistently in the Eastern Conference.
So let me just say, George, I love all of that, and you're absolutely right. And Cass, I loved your report today talking about the Big 15. And I won't lie, when the guys said that in the press conference, I can't remember who they were playing when they first said it. I was kind of like, that's cute. All right, y'all. But then they came out and they locked up with that defense. But in terms of the playoffs, and they still have to go through, I believe, a 6-game road stretch down the stretch of the season, so it's not locked in at seeding at all. But if things were to stay pat and they ran into the Atlanta Hawks, George, I do think they're better than a first-round team. I think they could beat the Hawks.
Well, the last time the Knicks...
I don't think the Hawks... I don't think the Hawks will be there at the end of the day. I think it'll be someone else. I know we only have 13 games. I think Boston could be in that position. And I just trust the team that's been there, like, deep in the playoffs in that situation. If it's Atlanta, maybe you got a shot. But you know what? Nate McMillan should be getting at least some consideration for Coach of the Year. To me, it's Tibbs, hands down, and Monty. But I think that Nate, considering the late push he's made, I wouldn't mess with that team. I wouldn't want to play Atlanta right now.
I mean, you know, the hot topic on the internet, if you're following some tweets by the one and only KD, maybe we'll see a Nets-Knicks Eastern Conference Finals. You never know. You never know. But the last time the Knicks had a winning streak, they're crazy. The city would be berserk. Last time that, you know, the Knicks have had this long of a winning streak was also their last time that they made the playoffs. So do with that whatever you want. As I told you, we're getting set for Mavs and Lakers as you're watching Hoop Streams live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the ESPN app. Again, to watch Lakers Mavs live in the app, just log on to your cable provider now. Just a quick note as far as the lineup is concerned. Just got word that Ben McLemore is getting his first start as a Laker with KCP out tonight of the lineup. So that's just a little note for you. We're going to get more into that game as the clock winds down, but we got something special for both of you. You know, the Oscars are tomorrow night. So we thought we would do our own awards. The Association Awards, ladies and gentlemen. Yay, yay. And let's get right into it. Our first category, Best Visual Effects. Here are the nominees. Luka Doncic, wild three-pointer. Mavs Grizzlies game, 1.8 seconds left.
Crazy.
Off balance. Unreal. Like, before the buzzer.
This was insane, y'all. Like,
our next nominee,
completely insane.
LeBron, no-look 3 versus the Rockets. Bench goes crazy in the celebration.
That's a Steph-type shot right there.
That's a Steph-type celebration as well. I mean, he went full Steph. And, you know, speaking of Steph, this was absurd. I can't even wrap my head around what he even did. He gets fouled and throws up the crazy left-hander. And the winner is Luka Doncic.
Oh,
you guys agree with this?
Definitely.
I think it was Steph. I think this is you know,
this was
I think this is La La Land right here.
I mean, listen, it is a game winner, so you should get some love for that. But I feel like that shot is easier because he's leaning in. He's on the right trajectory towards the basket. Steph, to Cass's point, Steph's was hard because he literally threw that thing over his head.
I don't think we appreciate Steph.
No.
I don't think we appreciate it as much as, I mean, it's just all part of it. Okay, we're moving on. Best costume design. We have 3 nominees. Of course, our first nominee, KUZMA. Always keeping it interesting. Okay?
Interesting is a word. Interesting.
There's a whole lot there. League favorite, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, he has his stylist working in OKC. And then the OG, Russell Westbrook.
Come on.
You know, look, he's been playing crazy. And so that means the crazier the outfits are getting. The winner is Kyle Kuzma. How do we feel about this?
Okay.
How do we feel? I mean,
I kind of would have given my edge to Russ personally.
I mean, do you see that mask he's wearing right there? Like the risks he's been taking.
I will. That was going to be my point. Okay, listen, Cass. On my radio show in LA, on ESPN LA 710, myself and LZ Granderson and Scott Kaplan talk a lot about Kuzma and his appearance, whether it's the hair. We literally have tracked his stats on when he's been bleach blonde. Like, by the way, the 3-pointers, not as good when he's bleach blonde. But he does take chances, and I'll give him credit for that.
I mean, he may be from Flint, Michigan, but he's straight Hollywood these days. Straight Hollywood. All right, we'll keep it moving. Our next category, best sound. That's all you have to say. Best sound category. We have the best of the NBA's mic'd up moments from the season. Take a listen.
I thought about trying to dunk on you right there.
I saw you.
No chance. No chance.
Jeffrey, let's get it. Come on. Let's go, Cheese. Let's go, Shan. Timothy Lualuka. Name's a nightmare, man. Good luck out there.
I ain't been this close to this ever. I did this. How do you know it's good? Oh, yeah, I got one in me. Only one, though. Oh my God! Oh, today's the day. I knew it. Have you watched Galaxies? What's it called? Guardians of the Galaxies? Do you know Groot? Look out! Magic. I want magic now. Now this is the time. Come on. I want it.
I'll do my best.
See me breakdance.
And our winner is Giannis, who wore the mic at the All-Star game. And, I mean, you guys enjoyed that, so here's a bonus clip from Giannis.
You called it. It happened. Woo! You don't understand, but we got it, baby. What is this? What is this? What is this? You gonna give me a kiss? Kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Woo-hoo.
I mean, I don't know how we follow that up, but I guess we're going to. Our next category, Best Director. Our nominees are Tom Thibodeau, head coach of the New York Knicks. He's led the Knicks to 4th in the East, on track for their first playoff appearance since 2013. Monty Williams, head coach of the Suns, has Phoenix number 2 in the West and their highest win total since 2013-2014. Quinn Snyder, head coach of the Jazz, the West number 1 seed, has their team with their best winning percentage since the 97-98 season. And our winner is Tibbs. I know, George, I know you agree with this one. You feel? I mean, how do you feel, Monica?
It's very, very close for me. I do think what Monty has done is really, really impressive. But, oh, man, I mean, Tibbs, it's tough to go anywhere else other than Tibbs in terms of the substantial turnaround. I think we saw glimpses of what this Phoenix team could be last year, and nobody knew the Knicks were going to be this good.
No, it was really interesting. I talked to Derrick Rose before I had their game today. And, I think they've also found a lot of success since Rose has come over. And Rose told me that one of the things that one of his jobs on this team is to make sure Tibbs is positive. And to make sure that, he kind of chills a little bit, and he just says he's seen a huge improvement in how he treats his team and allowing them to kind of have some freedom. So Tibbs is our winner, and we'll see if he wins Coach of the Year. Our next category, Best Original Score. Again, only one nominee in this category, so the winner goes to Eric Collins, the announcer for the Charlotte Hornets, who just keeps popping up on social for his Miles Bridges calls. Listen.
Cody Zeller, offensive rebound. Bridges! Oh my God! Oh, diddly-dee! A thunderbolt from Bridges! The filthiest of the filthy!
Let's go! Energy! Let's go! The filthiest of the filthy!
More Charlotte Hornet games on League Pass than I have in a decade combined, okay? Because of that dude, and they're good.
And that's what the local broadcast is supposed to be. That's all I'm saying. All right, moving on. Best Actor is our next category. It's a big one, guys. It's a big one. Final two categories of the night. Your nominees are Jimmy Butler. We all know is playing like
this was hilarious.
He really sold this until he didn't. How about LeBron James versus the Memphis Grizzlies? Just LeBron under the basket. Oh no, excuse me. This is Raul Neto. Neto trying to draw a foul on Gary Trent Jr.
The flop.
And here is LeBron. There, there's
come
the
on,
flop.
Bron. Bron. What was that?
Why?
And the winner is, I mean, of course, it was Jimmy Butler.
Of course.
That was like a real acting performance. He is an actor. Did you guys ever see that holiday movie he did? It was awful. But, of course I've watched it like 3 times. I don't know what it's called.
You know what?
Look it up.
Remember he shouted out his boy Mark Wahlberg. Him and Mark Wahlberg are tight. He said that he took some tips from him.
It's true.
He actually sold it till he peaked, but it was fun.
I know, but that was the whole, yes, that was it. All right, the big one. Let's go. Best Picture. Which in the NBA goes to the best poster dunks of the season. So your nominees are, of course, Miles Bridges on Clint Capella. I mean, how about LaMelo doing the LeVar Ball walk? I think I like the celebration.
Oh my God,
a little
yes.
bit. Yeah.
There was some George Jefferson for sure.
Anthony Edwards.
Ant-Man.
This like when this happened, we called this the dunk of the year.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, the same night Miles Bridges had his dunk, there was like 5 other dunks. How about this one? Jackson Hayes.
Oh.
He's not as scared to put people on a poster.
Oh.
Kawhi's not on here?
And then lastly, Zion. He's our final nominee.
I own this moment on NBA Top Shot. I own this moment on NBA Top Shot. I do.
I still don't understand Top Shot, but I'm happy for you. Our winner is Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, this is the right call.
Is it?
This is definitely the right
call. I think Miles
call.
Bridges has like a bigger profile as far as amount of dunks he's had, so that should like add up to something. But I
feel like Anthony got I feel like he elevated a little bit more than Miles, just a little bit. Like it's a very close margin, but I feel like this is the right call. Ooh,
you know what though?
Watanabe.
Yeah.
Watanabe went up there, did not make a business decision, but then when he was up there and got the forearm to the chin, he was like, "Damn, I shouldn't have done this."
Yeah, I cried a little tear because I asked Anthony in an interview you can check out on Hoopstream's YouTube right now if he's ever going to do the dunk contest, and he said no because he doesn't have dunks like that. He's just a powerful dunker. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like if you just go and run from half court and just like dunk it as hard as you can, I think those would get 10s. Like, I don't need to see you blow out.
He's going to change his mind. He's going to change his mind. He's too much of a personality in the league. He's going to change his mind. It's fine.
Look at what Aaron Gordon and Derrick Jones Jr. and those dudes, Zach LaVine, those guys are artists, man. He's right, you're right, Anthony.
We got about 30 seconds.
Time, guys. He's just a rookie.
You're right. Monica, you are right, and we'll
That's
see.
fair.
You know, he's. I think he's in the lead right now for Rookie of the Year. I mean, I'm waiting for LaMelo to return. We'll see if he can do anything, but I still think that Anthony Edwards is in the lead for Rookie of the Year. We're about 10 seconds away from this game. Lakers drop game 1. George, quickly, can they afford to drop game 2?
I mean, they can afford it. They'd still have a 1.5 game cushion, but it wouldn't be ideal for sure.
All right, well, guys, we're off next weekend, so I hope you have some big plans. I know Monica does. She's, all over television and the internet.
Oh my
our next
God!
show is May 9th ahead of Miami and Boston. Again, log into your cable providers now to watch the Lakers and Mavs on the ESPN app. George, so happy to have you back. Monica, you are a delight. Thank you, everyone, for watching Hoop Streams. See you later.
Thanks, Cass. Also, your hair looks great. I meant to tell you that. Your hair looks amazing.
It's very dirty. I've had this makeup on since 8 a.m. Bye, guys.
You look great.